Right, welcome everyone to the latest session of Curse of Strahd with a bunch of hopefully lovable idiots, especially me at this point, apparently at least the idiot part. In our last exciting session, a lot happened and not a lot happened. The party met Ismark in the pub. Got given a business card by the owners of the pub.
The local
went.
Vistani?
Yep.
Yeah,
went
Vistani.
and stayed at Ismark's house, where they agreed to help deliver the body of the burgomaster to the graveyard, and where they also have at least had a discussion to potentially take Irina to the next major town where hopefully she'll be safe. However, all of that is entirely irrelevant to what happened for most of the session. The main part of the session involved Sigma stealing back what they considered their property from Greed. And all of the... and the tensions that caused between various party members. We were revealed that Palmar really cannot read people at all. He is possibly the worst person at reading others. Octavian apparently likes to transform into a cat and sleep on people's chests, at least briefly. Fortunately, only briefly, so that his wild shape didn't run out part of the way through. Because
that's a killer move.
Very much missed opportunity.
Yeah. But eventually, through conversation with the mysterious voice that Greed can hear and seems to grant them powers, Greed was able to resummon the amulet back to themselves. And that is where we ended the last session, about essentially working out the correct order for carrying a body when half the party are like 8 foot and half the party are like 6 foot. So, how to be the right pallbearers for that without making it look like some sort of souped up like hot rod.
And letting their father slide out the front of it.
Yep. But so we'll go back into basically that sort of discussion.
Wasn't it me and Ismark at the foot ends, and then carrying the chest at our shoulders, and then behind us Octavian and Sigma carrying the chest at their hip height or something?
Yeah, basically. So essentially, you'd be having it on your shoulders. They'd be having it like.
Oh, that means I've got to carry Greed.
No, Greed's on the sideline giving directions.
Honestly, I thought you were going to say Greed is sitting atop the coffin being carried.
No.
I honestly thought that's where you were going to go.
He's greedy. He's not disrespectful.
Yes.
Well,
but
maybe he's sentient bruised.
Right, is everyone ready to go then?
I still think you have forgotten one of the biggest highlights of last week's session.
Oh, the
old lady that's selling dream pastries.
Yes, and a dream pastry was bought from a mysterious old lady, which sent
a sweet
Misha,
old lady.
A sweet old lady with her pies that smell like pork and beef, I believe I said, or pork and chicken.
Pork and beef.
Pork and beef.
Neither.
Neither pork or beef.
Yes, but sent Misha into a trance-like dream which they long to return to, where they were finally human like the rest of their family.
Mm-hmm.
But, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems that not only are there tensions in the air this morning as they're working out how to carry a coffin, but there is a look of perhaps longing and sadness on Misha's face. As they wistfully recall their dream, it haunts them. Yes. Ismark sort of looks amongst the group. Are we ready to depart then? It's not too long a trek.
If Master Lightbrand is, I am as well.
Yep.
What? Misha is very, very, very confused. Master? Who?
You have the symbol of the family.
Yes. Wait, you know of my family?
Madame Lightbrand was, I believe, a branch part of the family was the head of the research development. But I don't know if it's your part of the family.
Research. Brent? This is all new for Misha, right?
Yes, for the most part. You've probably heard, obviously your family have a sort of, it's their job to know things about monsters and stuff, because obviously you're monster hunters.
Yeah.
So the idea of there being a research division doesn't seem too far off, like, possibility. Like people whose job it is maybe not to hunt the monsters necessarily, but to research new ways to fight the monsters, or track the monsters, etc. But it's not a part you're particularly familiar with. But then again, a lot of it isn't parts you're familiar with because you're sort of basically kept away from as much of the family dealings as they could get away with.
It would make sense that if I were to know of any kind of research, it would be old libraries with notes of this is how the hunt went. Apparently, this is something that definitely does not work against these kind of enemies or creatures.
Yeah.
But a whole institute, that would be arcane and strange to me. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So the idea of people doing the research and maybe even experimenting with magic to some extent, but the idea of there being a full division for that and not just something like, hey, my brother goes out hunting monsters, he'd do his own research before doing that, because as like a hunter, you don't go out hunting unless you have an idea about what you're hunting.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll repeat division. What division? Is there? Doesn't everyone get their own research prior to their hunts?
Sigma will pull out his crest, his letter, crest and letter from his station that he had brought out whenever he met everyone at first. The symbol of a almost like angelic vulpine creature, as well as a on a smaller like piece of it, you would see the Lightbrand symbol like on the letter, signed by probably your aunt or something, like someone in the family that you don't have a direct connection to.
Do we have a name?
Uh, Headmaster Dahlia. Sure, that's the name.
Dahlia.
That works for me.
Okay. Why? I don't understand. Misha is clearly confused by this revelation about a research facility involving Sigma with his own family while he is being shunned.
Mm.
He's clearly processing what the hell is happening.
Ismark's gonna pipe up again and go.
Mm-hmm.
I realize this is perhaps an important conversation, but can we have it whilst we're walking?
Of course,
yes,
Master
of
Ismark.
course. We can finish this later.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Right, so I'm going to take you guys back to town map, where hopefully you guys still have tokens present. Yes, you do. Excellent. And just gonna add an extra token on, because you now have an extra person. God, there are too many named characters in this campaign. Right. Alright, Irina, you lead the way whilst I help carry these, so if you guys want to follow Irina's token, you can, or
How do
yeah, I'll do.
How do we make them follow? I've never done this.
if you just
press
have
F.
your token selected and then hover over theirs and press F.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And I need to do the same for Ismark. Okay. The great thing is it even maintains the same distances. Which is... I think it's struggling because it's trying to do that. I'm just
got
gonna...
a fat old advertisement for Windows 11 for the first time, and that scared the shit out of me.
Just gonna try to redo the following from out.
That was why I was getting confused. There's 2 Palmars on the map.
Is there?
Or at least there is for me. I can see
Yeah,
one.
I think it's like...
You could follow...
I'm just going to...
Yeah.
If I move the screen far enough up, I don't exist. The second one doesn't exist, so I'm going to ignore it.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm gonna just sort of move some of these on top of each other briefly, because that might help with it. Seeming to be struggling to...
you could select all of us and move us all.
Yeah. I apparently moved Misha and not anyone else. That's fun. Yeah, that's just struggling in general. I don't think it likes it. Oh, this map is even laggy. What the hell is...
Map is pretty big. You don't even need to be on this map. You could skip them over to...
We can go straight
yeah,
to the next
I'm
map.
gonna skip you guys to the church because this map is struggling. More so than I actually thought it would. That's cool. I like that. Right. Drag Irina and.
Is it supposed to be dark?
It's just no light source.
Yeah.
Has anyone else fallen into the void?
I can see. I'm fine.
Yeah, I can see, but it's dark.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be the dark vision.
My screen's like pitch black.
Yeah, it's because there's no light, but it should be morning. So. I don't necessarily want. Where's the global illumination thing? Global illumination. Okay. Okay. Hopefully, you guys should be able to see, but it's dim.
Yep.
Dimmer.
Yeah.
Because something you will have noticed is whilst the sun has clearly risen, it's very muted. Almost like something's blocking it. Anyway, let me just give you the description of this place. Atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that supports Castle Ravenloft stands a grey, sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church has obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises towards the back and flickering light shone through holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. As you approach the heavy wooden doors of the church, you notice they are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. As you open the door, you reveal a 10-foot high, 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall itself is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers. You can see the chapel is strewn with debris, and you hear a soft voice from within reciting a prayer. Suddenly, and without warning, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor.
Quite
I'm
a
not
cheery
going
church,
crazy,
isn't it?
am I?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't the only one who heard that, right? Oh, for fuck's sake, Chris.
What? I didn't hear anything.
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. I just assumed.
In response to Greed looking at everyone, Sigma did go, quite a cheery looking church, isn't it?
Well, I've never been one to like churches. Too greedy for my liking.
Sometimes they're the only place of refuge against the dark.
Hearing that, Octavian just raises an eyebrow at Greed.
Oh, where's the Burgermeister?
You're carrying him between you, basically.
Yeah.
We left him back there.
I guess we'll go inside, probably, yeah.
Okay, so you're heading in.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll call out,
Ismark. Or
I'll let Ismark,
Uh,
I'll let Ismark speak first if he
Yeah.
feels like he should.
Yeah, Ismark. Father Donovich. Father Donovich, sorry to disturb your morning prayers, but we brought my father's body for burial. What? Oh. What do you want? What do you want?
Consecration of corpse.
Right.
Is everything okay? You seem worse for wear.
Just. I'm fine, just not slept well. Right. Body to be buried. You brought it at the right time. Let's head outside quickly. There's only so much time. Only so much time. And as he walks past, you
I give an
hear.
insight check.
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah, good.
Can I roll for medicine to see his health?
Yeah, you can do that as well.
My boy being sussy as fuck.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. So.
I will sniff the air to see if there's anything strange. Probably can't find anything, but that's fine.
So, Greed. Clearly, he does look obviously tired. That's truthful, but he looks very sort of almost paranoid and twitchy. Like he's hiding something and seems in a rush to get you guys out of the church. And Misha, you can definitely tell this guy has not slept for a while, and honestly, looking at him, there's a slight, from maybe some of your reading, there's a slight look of maybe he's not all there in the head.
But is that a mental affliction or physical?
A bit of both. And it's as you're considering this, and he gets towards the actual door to leave, you hear from beneath the floor, "Father, I'm starving!" Right,
I will
let's keep
just
going.
I'll look down at the floorboards, look up at Sigma, and just raise an eyebrow.
Have you
Right.
considered getting some pastries from the old lady that's selling the pies in town? You need some rest. They help a lot.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's going to be fine. Let's get this prayer done.
Priest, what was that?
What was what? You didn't hear anything.
Insight check.
Sigma will. Sigma will like.
He's lying.
Yeah.
Reed just says out loud.
Sigma will go. Let's bury the body first, then we can deal with that problem.
Right. Yes, bury the body, then deal with whatever voices you're hearing in your head. I've heard that possessions and stuff can be a thing these days.
Oh, I'm sure if something was possessing me, they would go mad before I did.
You're already mad. Everyone's mad.
Palmar's not going to follow. Stay at the doorway.
Yeah, he leads whoever is following, which will have to be at least some of you because you're carrying the coffin.
I would have gotten to about here before noticing that Palmar's stopped at the door, and I'll just kind of trail back. Palmar, what are you doing?
Right. Welcome to the graveyard. Let's find a place to dig a hole whilst the dawn light is still upon us. Yes, what's the dawn light? Yes, the dawn is the cure for everything. And I'm gonna say he leads over to this area. I'm gonna say. Right.
Yeah, I do have my ears perked for danger as well. I am not.
Yes. Right. He picks up a shovel from on the side and looks amongst you. Who's good at digging holes?
Where's Palmar? Always bragging that he's so strong, and when you need him...
Wait. 1, 2. There were more of you. Where's the other 2? Where have they gone? And with that, I'm going to briefly go over to the other 2 to see what they're doing.
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all right.
Where was that voice from? Gotta find that voice.
But we should just get the burial over and done with, and then we can look.
No,
Or we can at least ask about it.
Really? Did he's... I know I'm bad at reading people, but even I think this guy's weird.
Okay, he was pretty fucking psychotic. Yes, we all understand that. I mean, the look on his face. But it did say father, which is slightly concerning.
Is it?
We should...
title.
Excuse me, where the fuck did you come from, Misha? Oh yeah, oh no, now I get it. Fuck's sake.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Oh, that's funny.
We should at least...
Wait, can we just say, did it say father or dad?
No, he said father.
Father, okay.
So yeah, it can still be his dad, but it can be both.
Sense. It kind of makes sense for Greed, because he doesn't know this whole side. I mean, he doesn't. He literally said as he walked in, "It's like, yeah, I don't go in these places much."
Sure.
What if it's not a... What if it's an item that talks?
Then we're definitely leaving it behind. You know what I feel about those things.
Yeah, but...
Remember the last time that you were starting to mess about with your trinkets, and you made my teaspoon start talking to me? I gave it my own voice, for God's sake.
You do like the sound of it, though.
I do. It was just poor choice of phrasing.
It was a small...
Does Palmar still have that?
No, that got melted down.
Oh.
I forced him to.
That was a slight miscalculation.
I understand that. I know you're close to perfecting it. However, if you can also have a mute switch or anything like that, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
So then, if I don't want to hear it, I don't have to. But anyway, enough about it. If it's a talking item, then why would it be hungry?
That's a good question. Oh, food. It's been a while since we've eaten.
It has been a while since we've eaten.
We literally just ate.
Not even half an hour.
It's so long.
I need food, Father. Feed me.
Okay, fine. One tiny little peek, and then we go back to the other.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Right. One of you counted up the others and said that everyone's there. Roll me a deception check.
Those are paladins.
1 moment. That's a 14.
Honestly, that's not
terrible.
bad.
I can only count my blessings. I can't count my numbers.
He looks at you for a moment and goes, 5. I really need to get more sleep. Okay, that seems to have persuaded him enough.
Oh my god.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that he's sleep deprived, that probably wouldn't have worked, but he is sleep deprived, so I don't know. Right, I'm gonna move. So, right, looks amongst the party and hands Misha a shovel. It's like, you look like you're good at digging.
Yeah.
Right.
Which one? Which place?
Just around here. It's fine. Running out of spaces. Running out of spaces. Running out of souls.
Okay.
Running out of people.
I'll start digging over here.
Yeah. Alright.
Do I need to roll anything or just
No,
dig?
this will be fine.
What do you reckon, Octavian?
With regards to what?
All of this.
What can you say? We're stuck here, aren't we? We've got to get this game buried and. Where are the other two?
I could go check on them.
Wait, one of you is missing. Nope, still 5. Still 5.
If
You're tired, father.
I was thinking of my cats.
Right.
Mhm.
So as the
If Octavian tells Sigmund to go check, he would slink away to go check on the other two.
I mean, you can roll me a stealth check as you do so.
Would you like me to, Octavian?
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in front of the priest, just try and sort of body block him a bit.
Okay. Alright. O Dawnmaster, support this soul in his last hour by the strong names of thy brightness and the fragrance of thy consolations. Let thy shining mercy pour over him, and let thy own body be their food, and thy blood their sprinkling, and let thy glorious chanticleers and our own dear patron smile on me, that in and through them all may die as we desire to live, in thy arms, in thy faith, and in thy love. Release them from the prison that is the mists, and take them to you. And yeah, you're able to sneak away with that, because his passive is nowhere near that high.
What's greed
well,
and Palmar's
yours-
passive?
Well, oh, my... Yep, well, they would potentially be looking around whilst you were sneaking over there, because you obviously wouldn't have been able to run. So I'm going to give them, say... Yeah, I'll give them a little bit to do some exploration before you arrive, and then we'll... So,
Okay.
right, so Palmar and Greed, where are you going to look?
On you, Woody. Where are we going? Sniff it out,
Mm.
boss.
So, Palmar and Greed have definitely done snooping around before.
Sniff it out, boss.
So,
Okay.
and it's not the first time that Palmar has had to disguise either himself or Greed.
Okay.
Which of the two of us would be closest to the size of the father?
Oh no.
Probably Greed, but the issue is that the priest has very short white hair and is significantly chubbier than Greed,
And doesn't have a tail.
and doesn't have horns, and doesn't have a tail, and doesn't have pointy ears. But I mean, if you want to
Or
try to
purple
disguise Greed in some way,
Okay, well, the other that's fine. I have an alternative. Okay, I would like. This is such a stupid idea.
Oh no.
I would like to expend a spell slot to disguise myself as the father.
you're gonna cast Disguise Self to make yourself look like Father
father.
Donovich. Okay.
Father, son
This
of
is
a
going to
bitch.
be this is going to be interesting to see where this goes. But yeah, you are disguised. Where are you going to look?
Genius, Palmar, genius.
This lasts for an
Just getting the
hour.
music breaking up a little bit. Or is it just me?
Slightly.
This lasts for an hour. We've got plenty of time.
And probably as that discussion is being made, that's when Sigma returns. I'll say
What-
at that point.
What are their passives?
Not high enough. Nobody's got high enough to beat that yet.
We'd also actively be watching the door because in case the father comes round the corner.
That's true. So, Greed, you can give me an active perception check. Yeah, that's what you're disguised as. Nope. Honestly, I'm picturing Sigma just crawling across the wall and just peeking round or something, and that's how they're hidden. Or just crawled along the roof and are looking in through the top of the door, so Greed hasn't looked up.
Maybe I've entered it like in a slightly like a hole in the roof. Like
Yeah.
I'm in
Sure.
the rafters.
Yeah. So, Sigma, you would have just seen a brief discussion and Palmar disguised themselves as Father Donovich.
Yeah. Like a jump scare, Sigma would like flip upside down, like right in between the two of them.
Greed yelps, and we'll turn around and you'll just get a slap across the face. What are you doing here?
We were worried about you.
I thought you were distracting the father.
He might not have got the memo.
Well, considering you're here, there must be a way that you managed to slink off without him knowing, so that's good. So you're in on this.
I just wanted to make sure that neither of you were hurt.
Well, now we're breaking and entering, so you're coming with us.
Oh, good.
Good.
Sigma will just basically drop down from the rafter, just right next to them, and just open a door.
Okay, I'm gonna do something a little bit odd, but I'm gonna actually put this into initiative purely because I want to do something on initiative 20. So essentially, you'll each get turn to move about in initiative, and we'll start with Sigma. But first, we're actually going to start with a dice roll. Okay, interesting. All right, so Sigma, where are you going first? I guess opening this door. Right. This dirtily lightless room contains a wooden bed with a straw-filled mattress. Mounted above the bed's headboard is a wooden holy symbol of a sun.
Why would this be mounted here rather than on the door? Sigma's just thinking out loud, like Monster Hunter things. And he is going to actively put his nose to the air to
Okay, give me a perception check.
Fine sniff. Oh.
Okay. So the must and mildew of this room is throwing off the hallway in general, and also this room is sort of throwing off your senses a bit. but there's definitely, I mean, perhaps it's a normal thing for a church, but there's a slight smell of perhaps like decay somewhere. But you can't quite place where it is.
Be careful of zombies and the like, Greed. There may be something.
Yes, of course.
I don't remember adding Octavian to the turn order, but apparently I did somehow. That can be the party over there's turn order, I guess. Palmar.
I'm going to open up the door that I'm next to, have a look in.
Okay, so that's that room. Okay, so an old desk and chair stand against the south wall, a wooden holy symbol mounted above them, a sunburst. A 10-foot-long iron rod attached to the north wall stands bare, suggesting a tapestry once hung there. Against the far wall stands a wooden cabinet with 4 tall doors.
I'm going to walk over and attempt to open the cabinet with 4 doors.
Okay, so you're able to do so. Inside you find a tinder box, a few wooden boxes full of candles, and 2 well-used books. Hymns to the Dawn and The Blade of Truth, the use of logic in the war against diabolist heresies, as fought by the Old Mist Inquisition. It's a very long title.
That is very long. That one would be of interest to Palmar. It's long enough of a title to be interesting. So
I mean, feel free to take it. I will put the name of the book in the chat, in case you want to copy it. But if you want to just put the shorthand, The Blade of Truth, or something instead, because it's a bloody long title.
No worries.
Alright, and I'll take that as your turn.
Yep.
Octavian. Nothing's happening yet this turn. Greed. You've opened this room. Time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of this mouldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is the heavy wooden trapdoor held shut with a chain and a padlock. A young man's screams of anguish can be heard through the door.
Was that supposed to be a signal?
Yeah, even though you're like right behind me.
Right. What are you going to do, Greed? Because you still got, I suppose, like your interaction and stuff this term.
Yeah. I'll have a look at the lock on it.
Okay. So it's an old iron lock, fairly sturdy, I would say. It probably would require some strength to break, or would require someone to pick it, or the key, of course.
Hey. Yes. I will just call through to Sigma and say, can you get this open? You're nimbly.
What an adjective! You're nimbly.
To be fair, Sigma, considering the way his limbs move, he is pretty nimbly.
Right.
one way to
Okay. So
describe
that's
it.
favorite word.
That's Greed's turn. So before we get to Sigma, I'm going to do another roll. Yep. Okay.
Ooh.
Is at that point that
There are less than 5 of you.
Bogdanovich finishes his prayer, looks around, and goes, "Wait, where's the big white one gone?"
I think
There
he
was
had-
definitely a big
Uh,
white one.
I think
didn't-
he had something about the toilet.
I was gonna say, didn't he tell that he went to the loo?
No.
My God. Oh my God. I'm going to
Let's
give
go,
him
Octavian.
advantage on this one because, you know, there's only so much you can get away with. And a giant, like, 8-foot tall person wandering off is something you're going to notice.
Are you sure about that?
Hmm.
Technically, you're the one being active. So
Yeah.
you win. Okay, he's like, right, but if he's not back shortly, I'm gonna say some prayers about you. As he returns to saying prayers to Brave and the other two.
Was that
Right,
the I'm gonna wave my
I can't believe that worked.
This is the party working together. We should
Yep. Okay, so Sigma.
encourage this.
Yeah,
Can't
Yeah.
believe that worked.
I did not mean to close that door, but yeah, I will walk up and I will. I imagine that all of Sigma's things he actively uses, he just has like on the chains on his waist rather than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So he has his lockpicks, and he just he has the lockpicks he got from the Durst house that he just.
Hmm.
I thought they were just going to be like bones. I can't lie.
I mean, he could use those, but who wants to see that?
I mean, that's skeleton
Right.
key. When all else fails, use the
Bones.
skeleton key.
Right, so give me, I guess, a thieves talk check. That is enough. You managed to pick the lock on this and are able to remove it and the chain. Quite heavy, but yes. However, I assume you then try to open the trapdoor.
Oh, I will actually put my foot on it to keep it closed, just in case, because we want to be
Okay.
ready. As I look at
Okay.
Greed, like, kind of going, we want to make sure we're ready for whatever comes.
Oh,
You may
of
want to
course.
stand back, Greed.
And am I okay to do that now?
You can on your turn. Essentially, we'll say this is Sigma's turn, and then we'll
I mean-
essentially.
Sigma, you can use your movement to move me.
True.
Yeah, I'll
Probably
just
got enough movement to shuffle him to like there.
yeah,
Yeah.
just pull Greed,
Yeah.
and I'll literally sit on top of it in the meantime.
Okay. Right. And I'm guessing you're calling for Palmar as well.
Yes.
Right. So Palmar, your turn.
You
Do
hear
I,
the
do I have enough
cars.
movement to do that?
1, 2, 3, 4. You can get to the room, I think. Yeah, so you've got one more square, so you could get into the room.
Cool. Of course.
Right.
What we found? What's going on?
And a trapdoor. That means it's a good thing.
I know.
A trap store?
I've done this enough times.
I know, I'm just making sure. I can never tell.
And as you're sitting there, once more you hear that scream coming from the basement. Hungry!
Feed me, Seymour.
We have some lovely steamed hams.
Alright, so that's Palmar. Greed, you're obviously up.
Yeah, I'll just be waiting for the trapdoor to open.
Okay, so I'll do another. Okay, this time he apparently doesn't notice that you haven't returned. So
He's
Sigma,
stuck in
you're up.
prayer.
Yeah, he's in the middle of a particularly long one.
Okay. With that, Sigma will stand above, like, where the trapdoor would, like basically like above, like on the wall, so that the expectation would be that someone would be standing there opening the door from like the front.
Yeah.
So he's just opening it literally from above as he peers down into the
Hey, I need a strength check.
depths. Okay.
The trapdoor is swollen and stuck in its frame, so it's going to require a bit of oomph to open it.
Athletics?
Yes. And that is more than enough to get this open. And I'm actually... as soon as the door opens, the screaming stops. And I'm actually going to move two of you forward so I can move you guys onto the next map. Look.
Spider webs. Nope, too many spider webs. Don't like that.
It's only spider webs.
Don't like it.
Oh, sorry.
Right, obviously,
I like
ordering wise, it's probably going to be.
You know what's
something
nearby
along
if there's spider webs.
those lines.
Flies.
Exactly. Disgusting creatures.
If I put my nose to the air once we get down here, is there any sense of beasties or monsters I've dealt with?
As you get down to there and you begin descending, and I'm going to just say that you've managed to descend, you hear, "I can smell your blood."
I look at Palmar and Greed.
Interesting. Well, it seems that the church is also infested with the creatures that were in town. But this one seems a lot more talkative than the others.
And Palmar, and we're going to move that to your turn, I think. So I'll say basically Sigma's movement was used to get everyone down here, essentially.
Sure, yeah, I can.
Palmar's going to position himself in a position that can be that the voice can see his figure.
Okay. Yeah, it seems to be coming from the corner of the room.
Okay.
Is it dark in here?
I can't.
Fairly so.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah, it's
turn on the
probably
map
actually-
discoverability so that we could see things whenever they're at least see the room rather than black inkiness?
That's okay. I can kind of, so from where I am, I can kind of see that there is something in this top corner.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially what this is this just literally is blocking because of that's where your light would be, so you wouldn't be able to see what's behind it, essentially. I don't think there's a way for me to adjust the fog of war to show a bit better than that. I
think it potentially might do everything. Depends if there's anything else on that scene.
What I'm looking through in Palmer's eyes is fine. They should be able to see what they can see.
Yeah, from what I can see, there is something in the top left-hand corner, so it's fine.
Okay.
And having seen, I'm going to go, this is not your... this is not dinner.
Oh yeah, he's disguised as the father.
And I'm going to look to see what happens.
Oh boy.
So you like readying an action or anything, or are you just waiting? Sorry.
If it gets close, I'm just going to punch it.
Okay. So
But
you're
that's
readying an action to strike if it comes within range.
yeah.
Father, why have you brought blood here if it's not for me to eat? You seek to torment me.
Not torment, control. I think that'll be enough for somebody else have a go.
Okay, greed.
I'm greedy.
Sorry, my Discord dropped out a second. That was weird. Okay. So I'm gonna move down, see if I can see what it is. I see a pair of eyes.
So what you see, or what you possibly saw as it was moving about the room a little, is you see that.
Funnily enough, the full image of that picture is one of my favorites from this campaign, just because of how sheerly terrifying. It's really good.
Yeah.
So if you go to the biography page of that token, pick the
Yep.
hand out,
Okay.
and then click show players.
Okay, let me just do that again. That the handout doesn't do anything for me. But I might be able to find it. But yeah. Yeah. So what you doing, Greed?
So Greed is just going to see the person in the corner, and we'll just say, "Your father has brought us down to meet you. We're ever so curious, but we aren't food. What's your name?"
He hisses, Doru. So, as
Yeah. G begins to form almost like a weirdly enough, the best way that I can describe it is like a collar. Be the best way to describe it, and it just sits above his hand as he just continuously just spins it behind his back.
Oh,
And
like you're directing it towards Sigma. Okay.
No. So it's so I'm preparing enthrall and holding my
Okay.
action.
Enthrall?
Roll.
Okay, we're gonna go with another fun little roll to see if he notices. Honestly, at this point, actually, on this one because you've been gone a while. Nope. No.
He's too busy.
Sigma, you're up.
I'm too busy asking them or fitting them in regarding the ceremony. Keeping him busy, keeping him occupied. He doesn't need to care about the other people. He just needs to focus on his job.
I've already heard him crying out for blood and things, and food. Is that enough to put 2 and 2 together that we're dealing with something?
It definitely seems that way. Based on stories you would have heard, there's only so many creatures that have a desperate hunger for blood. That sounds enough.
We're here to figure out who sired you, Doru.
Who else could have? That's all he says in response to that.
Are these like blood drained like fish and rats on the floor?
Yeah. And he was
As I think about it, if this is the priest's son, is your father searching for a cure, Doru?
He tilts his head in slight confusion, particularly because you got someone disguised as the father there.
No. I'm more speaking out loud. Like, it's not real. The thing is, Sigma is not charisma. Even with the quote unquote.
I'll say it's more thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. It's mildly directed.
He sort of tilts his head. It's like, why didn't you ask him? He's right there. Maybe I should just eat him. Keeping me down here.
Have I ever heard of a cure of vampirism?
That I'm
Thanks for the
gonna
hearts.
need medicine, arcana, or history check, I guess.
Stick to the heart.
You're too late.
The only you've heard theories postulated. Nothing concrete, nothing that's been tested, because doing so would require keeping a vampire alive for long enough to do so. You've probably heard people in the research division of your group suggesting that maybe if you were able to successfully drain them of all their blood and replace that blood with like normal blood, that might be the cure, because it's as blood draining is what infected them. Clearly, the disease that causes vampirism must be in the blood. Some have theorized that powerful enough divine magic might be enough, and others have theorized that the best way is to kill the vampire and then revive them in some way, and that will hopefully restore their body to a normal state.
Like a resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Sigmund's sort of like thinking this as he's sort of like he's kind of investigating, in a manner of speaking, what the priest was up to as he's thinking out loud. That's why he's doing this. And he's I think he's kind of thought of what he's like what's going on. That medicine check is fine for my action.
Yeah. Right, Palmar.
Okay. I step forward in front of Greed.
Mm-hmm.
No. You can control this. You don't need longer devour you. You're stronger than this.
Roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
You're good at these.
Is
2
your
nat 20s. Just cross your fingers. 2 nat 20s.
You can do this.
Honestly, I feel it's very encouraged for Palmar. It's just-
Yeah.
Oh, I completely agree. Oh my god!
Holy crap!
Get in there!
Oh my god.
Yeah. Even with the -3, like a 16 on that is... That's gonna call... Okay. I'm gonna say that's your turn, and I'll do his reaction on his turn.
You've got Greed thinking, like, maybe he does know a way around it.
He peeks out, sort of looks at the group, or what he can see of the group as Greed is actually out of his view. Just says, "Control it? Could it really be possible? Is it possible? But no. If I could control it, then the rats would be enough. If they're not enough, I need more. But maybe there might be a way. Could there possibly be a way?" He seems not so much convinced, but perhaps open to being convinced more, if that makes sense. I'd say at least towards Palmar, he's no longer hostile.
Wow.
Now he's more in that sort of like neutral.
Towards his father.
Towards his father, yes. Yes, towards his father. Which may have been why this has been so successful. Perhaps that was what made the dice give you that, because honestly, I was expecting like 2 nat 1s, and this to just go
I was 100% expecting that to fail. I'm so happy it did.
I honestly wish I'd got it. I'm glad. Honestly, I feel like that moment needs to be clipped at the end, because damn. But if this was have you found a way, Father? Is it really possible? But to the other two, he saw, is that what they're for? Did you bring them here? And then I'm going to move, I'm going to use this random Octavian term, which I'm not actually sure how it got added, but it's been added, to basically be what the other party are up to. So I'm going to quickly, because
roll
obviously
another wisdom check.
well, the wisdom check will be at turn 20, but obviously the party are aware that they didn't turn up, and one of them's headed off and hasn't come back. So what are the 2 members of the party doing at this point?
Keeping the priest busy for as long as we can keep him busy.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you essentially have you sharing this turn?
Sigma is with them. Sigma has holy water. Whatever is happening, it shouldn't be that much of an issue.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what are you two doing to keep the priest distracted? He's finishing off like his latest prayer, but
I'm gonna start
What?
asking him about religion.
I mean, this is it. Normally, a funeral takes like an hour.
yeah. Okay, so you're continuing basically
Yeah,
discussing the funeral practice and keeping it going.
yeah.
Okay, so both of you, I'm gonna have roll charisma checks. Just straight charisma because it's or deception. I'll allow deception actually. Maybe or performance. I'll allow deception or performance or just straight.
It wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make much of a difference. I'm at -1.
Oh no.
Okay, so Misha's not very. But whilst you trying to keep the funeral going, Misha doesn't seem to be going as well. He's sort of like, no, the dawn is over. I must return to my prayers. But as Octavian begins talking and essentially persuading to some extent about talking about religion, he is willing to speak about that. So what in particular would you like to know?
Just what the religion of Brovia is, how it's practiced.
Okay.
Octavian's from a different plane, so he's not sure how.
Yeah, no, that is
Things work.
completely valid. Okay, so I'm actually going to give you some information here. So there are two divine forces that watch over the Barovian people: the Morning Lord in all his glory and Mother Night. Presence of Mother Night is felt most strongly between dusk and dawn, whilst the Morning Lord, his power is during the time of light, but it is strongest as in before noon.
Okay, so the ritual and prayers you've done would be to the Morning Lord?
Yes, for his light to pierce through the mists and allow the soul to escape this place and return to him.
It's interesting. It's different from where I'm from.
Yes, it has been a difficult time. We have kept up the old ways, but the sun has not truly shone for centuries, and so many prayers go unanswered that in ancient times would surely have been answered. Its prayers go unanswered. But I'm sure it's just we need to pray harder. I need to pray harder.
Now he's praying done here then. Yeah, he's just trying to drag things on as much as he can.
Yeah. For prayers to the Morning Lord, there is often a prayer at morning honoring the dawn itself, to light our path and continue forward. But mostly it is you pray with your eyes closed, facing the sun, allowing the light's warmth to wash over you for what it's worth. And then at night, there are altars, rituals, at least so I've heard, but Mother Night is not my focus. I've always been a follower of the Morning Lord, as has my family for generations.
Okay, I understand. I kind of get it to a point. It's strange, but it's somewhat familiar as well.
Yes.
Strange.
Alright. Okay, so I'm going to say that's definitely bought you a turn. Greed. Back in the basement.
But Sigma will say to Greed, as a free action, there are theories. There is hope for a cure.
But is that necessarily our problem?
It might solve
Put
this
it
one.
bluntly. Well, if you know of a cure, then I'm sure you can just tell the father, and we can be on our way. I don't necessarily, this is something that we have to be meddling in. Unless you have the cure on you now, along with your many other trinkets.
There's only one cure I carry for now, and Sigma, like, only towards Greed, will like open his coat slightly and like run a hand like along his blade, like where it wouldn't be seen from this little like beam. He runs his finger like down the blade side as the only cure that he carries on him currently.
Well, that would be the quickest cure.
You can see like Sigma's
Yeah.
like ready to pounce, like if it goes south, like he is.
Greed's torn. He doesn't really care in regards to that. Well, as he said, it's like this is not our problem to deal with. If there's a way around it, that's great. If it's not happening right now, then what's the point? We now know what's down here. We should just fuck off, skis. I'm going to maintain the spell, so holding the action, in case he starts charging towards us or anything like that. And I'm just going to say, Palmar, we should probably leave.
Okay, as that happens, I'm just going to do this.
Yes. Leave this one here if there is a cure and you can find it. Imagine the reasons next day.
I can't quite hear you, James. I'm really sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a little too. It's cutting out by the noise cancellation is cutting out too much of it.
I was going to say that try going closer to your mic for it. Give that a go.
Thanks. Yes, leave them here. Imagine the reasons next day if you can find a cure, and here's the person that's something alive.
I got the gist of what you were saying.
I understand you saying something about leave him here, and then
There's more
something about
riches
the cure.
elsewhere.
Yeah, I'll just do it normal, but
paraphrase.
essentially, yeah. It's annoying that that's coming across so badly.
Mm.
But essentially, yes, leave them here. Imagine the riches if you could actually find a cure. And here you've got a trapped test subject.
So all the locations are
That's the bloody good idea voice in my head. In that case, Greeb he'll nod in response to that, and will say, "We obviously don't have to off this one. We can potentially come back later
3,
if we do find a way around it."
4,
I'm doing a good deed here.
5,
Say thank you, Greed.
6.
He just looks at both of them, holds his hands up, like it's like, come on.
Self-entitled.
Sigma
Donates
will...
£1 to charity, instantly cures world hunger.
So I think I'd
Okay.
stand under this one because this is actually the trickiest out of the 9. You actually have to jump and then trigger the petting emote.
Spell. So
Okay.
I'm just going to maintain it until we're safely
Okay,
moving.
so the thing is with holding spells, if the spell doesn't go off, it does still use the spell.
Oh, does it?
Yes.
Oh, well.
That's one of the annoying things about holding spells, which I'm honestly hoping they get rid of in the future because I don't see exactly why, but it doesn't do any more than holding an attack necessarily, but
Yeah, you're
I
already
can.
wasting a reaction.
yeah. I feel like
I
that
don't
should be the
understand what...
cost.
And concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be against altering that rule now.
You know what? I'm gonna rule it now. Screw that rule.
Hey!
Yes,
rule of
nice.
yeah. Yeah. So
James for
you can
president.
hold that. You can hold. You can definitely hold that. Like if I will say, if you get like attacked or something and you can't, you'd have to make the concentration check still, and then you could lose it.
Yeah, that's
just
fair.
holding the spell, that should be fine. Because after all, as we said, you're giving up a reaction, you're giving up your concentration, you're giving up a lot, and then just to lose it because this person didn't do what I thought they were going to do is kind of meh.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
No,
be
that's
similar to the Dispel Magic or the new Dispel Magic,
Yes.
where the spell gets cancelled, but you won't lose a spell slot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
essentially.
talking about counterspell, not dispel magic.
I meant counterspell.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Similar. Yeah. Right. So that's Greed's turn. The priest is distracted for this round because the party actively did something and did well enough, surprisingly. So Sigma, you are up.
Looking at him, I'll start explaining the it's a very like medical. Like he says, like there are cures, there's hope, but you have to maintain yourself. It is a difficult task to be had. It is easier if you were to find a way to lock yourself away properly until a cure is found. Motioning towards the coffin that is behind him, and is there a lid in here? I presume there would be, like, right next to it, but
He sort of goes, no lids, broken when I was free, when I almost killed him.
Sigma will look at him and say, then one of the only ways to maintain yourself may be pain.
Its distance is pain.
Mood. Sorry, broken.
The hunger is the pain. I'm tormented by it. And you just see him like rake his clawed fingernails along like this wooden pillar, just leaving deep gouges in it.
Sigma will say, I know what it's like to be like you. It is possible to get out the other side. But you have to put trust in things you don't understand.
Okay. Again, I'm gonna have a flat persuasion check from you this time. Because Palmar's sort of reduced his hostility and he's at least in a slightly more listening mood than he was initially.
Hope I roll well. Nope.
Boy.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
He looks to them and goes, I can't take it. Run! I devour you all. And he's basically gripping onto the pillar now more than just digging his hand into it, almost like he's trying to hold himself back. Perhaps purely because of what Palmar said, that there is potential and he's trying, but clearly your words have triggered something in him and he's not likely to stay calm for very long.
Okay. I will trust I'll trust the situation because we still have a chance to discuss this with the father upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I will sort of if Greed will let me, I'll have Greed move ahead of me as I kind of move up the stairs a bit.
Which is right here on the
Greed's going to stay in the center because you'll see the same energy
spawn right next
to
to
in his fingers, and he'll just give a nod as you go past.
All the locations are.
I will look towards Palmar and go, Father, we should be taking an assessment of our options. I think I got everything I need down here.
7.
Right. Palmar.
8. And 9. So
on hearing Sigma's comments, I will move and
jump and then trigger
push Greed up the stairs to make sure we can get as far as we can go.
Okay, so considering you haven't done an action, I'm going to have you able to dash essentially. And I'm going to say that all of you can get out of the basement easily enough. With that.
As soon as we get up, I'll just be like, drop it.
I depending on if it's still an initiative, I would help relock it.
Yeah, I'm going to actually end the initiative there, because I imagine you're going to be returning to the group
yes,
shortly. But yeah, give me a thieves' tool check to lock the door.
Yeah, fail it.
Okay, you've now locked it somehow with that lock, even more so. So it's going to be quite hard to get in, unless you've got the actual key. Yeah, I'm honestly picturing like with your thieves' tools, you've got like some of like the little like scrapey bits and stuff, and like scraped additional like channels in it and stuff, so that it's harder to pick.
Yeah.
Or something. I have no idea how you lock a lock better than the key, but you found a way.
I could have wrapped the chains around the hinges in a way that is more properly like it's a Monster Hunter's this is a now designed almost to be a I imagine it's actually harder to break rather than harder to pick.
Yeah, I could see that. So, like, the chain itself is now, rather than just being like a chain, the chain is almost now an additional locking step, almost.
You
Yeah.
reinforce
So
the
you'd
door,
have-
not the lock.
Yep.
Yeah, so rather than just having to pick the lock, you also have to deal with how the chain is wound in order to. Yeah, that works. I like that. I like that. So with that, well, what are you guys doing?
We should return to the others before the priest gets too antsy.
I'm very confused. I would have thought that he'd be very suspicious considering how paranoid he is.
He did notice you were gone, but he may not
No, he
notice
did
us
not.
getting back.
He noticed they were gone, but then was persuaded that no, he didn't notice they were gone and was seeing things.
Oh, he thought he noticed they were gone, and then I convinced him no, those were just passers-by.
Yeah.
They
just
did
gonna
not
go
belong to
there.
the group.
He's gonna be like, "Who are you?" It's like there were 5 of us this whole time, Father. Catch up.
Right. So I'm just gonna drag you
I-
3 over to.
I will
As-
ask Palmar to drop his spell.
As we're moving over, I do drop.
And I basically tried to work us like back into the crowd, like behind Ismark, and like he easily could have overlooked us, or like.
We just gonna
It's
get
gonna
over
be
as
fun.
Octavian's like in the middle of asking the
Yeah.
21 questions.
Yeah, so you have returned just as the funeral is ending, it seems. A few more final prayers have been said, and Irina just.
Sorry, Octavian's just asking about what type of candles and incense are used, and
Yeah.
What a wonderful service, Father. That was excellent. A jolly good send-off.
Wait. 1, 2. Oh, I don't care enough. I'm heading back to the church. Also, looks to Sigma. Also, if it takes you that long to take a piss, you probably need to see a doctor.
Sigma raises
It's
an
not
eyebrow
even
because-
a minute.
I know,
yeah,
but
I'll lean over to Misha.
it's a height hazard, Father.
Sigma will lean over to Misha and say, "There's a spawn in the basement."
I need to
Also,
process
okay.
this. There's what? In the
Spawn.
church?
In the church.
I mean, I'd call that kind of ironic, personally.
His son.
what
You
did
may
you
need to-
find? Irina asks.
Spawn, child, basement.
It's in a vampire spawn.
It seemed so. That or some other blood-desiring beast, but it seemed locked down there. It seems Father Donovan may be hiding out, hoping for a cure that may never come.
The only cure I know of, it would be a stake to the heart.
There
There
are
is no
other cures.
cure.
Hopefully.
Hmm?
There are other cures, hopefully. None that we know readily.
And if we do find a cure for it, then think of all the people that we'd be able to help in the world. I'm sure there's an entire business around that. I mean, proposition for that sort of work. We could help so many clerics out there.
Raises an eyebrow looking at Greed, but then speaks. You might be right about there being plenty. I mean, you said it was his son? Is that what you said?
Well, he was calling him father, but...
Did he say his name?
Doru.
Yes. Huh. Well,
Perhaps we should
that's-
let Father Donovan know that he is not alone. He might do better knowing that there are others that have his back. Otherwise, he's going to exhaust himself to death.
Oh. Before we head back, I suppose I should tell you what I know of Doru, and it's a little bit of a tale. About a year or more so ago, a wizard in black robes came to Barovia from a distant land. Very powerful. His demonstrations of magic began to kindle hope in people. But
There are 9 of
Doru,
these
along with several
courage
other
will spawn
young
right next to you.
villagers,
All the
stormed the castle in
locations
revolt.
are-
But all we know is the stories say that everyone died, including the wizard. And a lot of hope has been lost since. Someone that powerful can't stand against Strahd. Who can? But it might be worth speaking to the priest, getting some advice before, well, of course, there's always the option of offering to end the boy's life, but if Father has kept him locked up for so long, he must be trying to find a way to save him.
That's why we
We
speak
may
to
try and keep that as a very last option.
Of course, it seems that there is, well, it seems there is some good in you lot, other than just a natural desire for sating your own desires. But in that case, with everything in mind, will you be able to guard me on the way to Valarkian, possibly beyond if Valarkia isn't safe?
Is there a beyond Valarki?
There is, Ismark speaks up, there is one other town, a distant one. I don't know much of it. It's called Kresk. Most I know of it is from rumors at the tavern and a few words from my father, but essentially near there is where the winery is that produces all the wine that all of Barovia, not just the village, has. So...
Oh, you're not on the... I can see 2 places on the map that might be that place.
Yes, so...
There or there. And
what was the other one?
This one looks like to have something that might be a winery or a farmland.
I'll try to show you on the maps, though. My maps don't really show that part of the land very well.
Another... Where's this one coming from? That's a town.
Well, perhaps the 2 of you should begin gathering your things, if that's what you want to do. We don't have any other better leads for what we need.
Yeah, Ismark considers this and goes, no, I think, at least for the time being, I need to stay behind in order to get the town in order as much as possible before I leave. But if you can get Irina to Valarki, I should be able to join you there. And then...
Is there anything
or if you're not,
here in the
or
village?
if you're not in the village, not a lot really. I mean, there's not many of us left. I think the best thing that can be done, you've already done if you've managed to cleanse that house, as you say. That will at least stop some hearing the screams. Actually, No. I don't think you could. And he seems to look thoughtful for a moment.
Could what?
Wouldn't harm to tell us, even if we aren't capable.
Well, in the village there is a young woman by the name of Mary. She well, nobody's really seen her much, and all they hear from there is weeping. You might be able to see what's up with her. The village has been, well, not in the state for helping each other much recently, but maybe an outsider might be able to help in a way that we can't.
There
But
is
I
something
can
that
understand if you can't.
it wouldn't hurt to try. But there is something we would need. You said there was an abandoned blacksmith, correct?
Yes. I can show you the way to there.
Would you be upset if I used the tools and materials there?
No. If anything, consider it part of your reward for helping here and helping transport Irina. And what I'll do is I'll actually we'll go back to the map and I'll actually take blacksmith, but I'll take you there directly rather than
We did want to speak to the priest first.
Oh yeah, the priest first. Yep, sorry. Yeah, so you wanna head back to the priest? Feel free to wander over there. I'm just gonna get the next map ready whilst you're doing that.
Sure.
Where is it? There it is. I lost the building for a moment.
It's a warehouse. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where did Sigma go?
I went to the church.
Oh.
Yeah. Right, so you've all headed back to the church.
One final stop before.
Yeah. Harper is mumbling prayers and doesn't even seem to have noticed you entering. His prayers seem a bit faster and more fervent than when you were last here.
Father Donovan.
What? Oh. No one else has died, have there? Can't have been that long.
No. But we need to speak of another problem. In fact, one of your problems.
I have no problems.
A subject of lost hope.
He looks at you. What do you mean?
Someone you want to protect more than anything else. Doru?
So there was someone sneaking around whilst that prayer was going on. We
haven't harmed him.
I know. I can hear him still. But there is something different about his screams.
He's trying to hold
Prayers
on.
must be working.
He's trying to hold on for
Finally.
you, Father. But you need to rest. Otherwise, you're going to exhaust yourself. If Doru needs your assistance, if you are to help him in the way you need to, letting the madness of the world sink in.
I don't
It's not
stop
becoming
praying, and the prayers won't get through, and there'll be no hope.
What is hope but not an act of faith? Constant prayers aren't faith. Praying once and believing it'll work is.
You know what? Purely because I like the wording of that, roll me persuasion with advantage. Okay.
Natural 20?
He didn't need the advantage. He goes, maybe you're right. But if I rest and he breaks free, he could cause harm. I can't let him do that. Not for my sake, but for his. It would destroy him. He would lose what left is of himself.
I did fix up your latch.
What do you mean?
It'll be much harder to leave without
A key.
a key.
Ah. That was one of the things I was praying for, to find the key. I haven't been able to find the blasted thing after locking him down there. But maybe that's for the best for now. And
He's undead. While he'll be in pain, he likely shouldn't die. I'm presuming that this is true because, from what I understand, vampire
Yes.
spawn aren't going to just starve to death.
Basically, I think it's pretty much they might become more and more feral, but and they might, I suppose, potentially start tearing themselves apart. But at least starving to death, they won't. What was that, Woody?
One less job to do then if they start ripping themselves apart.
Yeah.
True. True.
And while it won't be forever, we don't have infinite amount of time. It gives him as much time as he could possibly get. A spark of hope. A light of the dawn?
Yes. Possibly. Maybe there is a way. But
How...
Yeah.
Are we in a hurry? Yes, we need to bring Irina to safety soon. Can we wait a day?
Is that in or out of character?
In character.
Right, just checking. Donovich looks up and goes, if you're trying to take her anywhere, then it's better sooner rather than later. If her father's been laid to rest, I imagine that his attacks will resume soon enough.
With my high thieves tools on the lock, was it possible that while I'm at the while we go to the forge, I could forge a key?
Yes, I would say with that roll, that's possible. Yeah.
I'll mention this to Father Donovan that it's possible I may be able to forge him a key.
Here you guys. That might be a good thing. That way, if we can open it, that might be for the best. But yes. if you're planning to take Irina, who is here, I just haven't moved the tokens anywhere, then I would recommend Kresk more than anywhere.
Where is Kresk?
Kresk is on the far side of Barovia.
Is it this town? Oh.
It is on the far side of Barovia. On maps, it should be showing as like a fortress city of sorts. Walls, towers. It's possibly he sort of considers his words one of the safest places. The abbey there is to Saint Markovia. It is consecrated ground. It should not be possible for evil to enter there. If not, if you can't go that far, then Balarki is a much more fortified location than here, would at least protect from some of his forces. But maybe not from him.
Perhaps,
What is this in the mountains? There's a path going there.
How are we all seeing this? Because
there's a map you can pull up on the left, but...
Yeah.
On the top left, you have toggle navigation, and you can swap between landing page, map of Barovia, and village of Barovia.
Thank you.
I'm not sure of any place in the mountains myself.
Well, for what it's worth, if we want efficiency to get out of here as soon as possible, I need to go fix my weapons, as well as any weapons of you all. Make sure we can do what we need here. If you have any silver, Father, I'm sure this place was stripped long ago, but
yes,
if you want a chance against this.
Silver hasn't been a metal that has really been readily available in Barovia for a long time.
Is there anyone that can help code our weapons?
Sigma will raise his hand and say, I can.
What, you can?
Mm-hmm.
The 100 gold for silvering a weapon. That is the cost of materials plus time and expertise.
Yeah.
If we can do this ourselves, that means we can do it for cheaper, right?
Yes, but it will be more role dependent. So, and there is a time expense to it as well. Essentially, you may be so there's a few ways that this can go. You can successfully silver the weapon and it remains as effective as it was. You can silver it, but it becomes less effective as a weapon. Or you fail to silver it, essentially. And it'll be kind of like a skill challenge to some extent to do so.
I have the tool proficiency, at least.
Which will certainly help. And the others can, of course, help in ways. So I assume that's where you're heading now.
I suggest to Eastmark and that we may go speak to Mary while I go Smith and they need to prepare to leave.
Okay, and the father will say one last thing before you leave. A warning, never harm a raven lest ill befall you. And may the sun forever be on your back.
I will bow in what Sigma thinks is a graceful way.
Okay. So I'm gonna take. So who's going to the blacksmiths and who's going to Mad Mary's?
Palmar's going to go to the blacksmith.
And I'll follow to entertain.
But before we leave, I see there's lots of broken pews.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
While this conversation was going on, can Palmar have moved some of this stuff on top of the basement door?
Yeah,
just
I would
to
say
add
you can do
additional weight.
Yeah, that's easily possible. I'm not even going to make you roll or anything for that. So, Sigma, Greed, and Palmar are definitely going to the blacksmiths. What about Octavian and Misha?
I can go to Mary.
Yeah, I'm going to Mary as well.
Okay, so
Split the party.
Split the party.
Wahoo!
To be fair, I don't think we'll be that far apart. I think if I remember where the two buildings were.
It's worth pointing out, we just split the party up and we all survived.
We did, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna,
How often
because
can
we
do
had quite a focus on you three recently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna do the focus on the other two initially, and then we'll come back to you guys. So
Of course, we're just crafting.
yeah. So Irina and Ismark have gone back to the house to basically prepare. They've shown Octavian and Misha to the house.
I presume everyone hands me their like silver platters and things.
They
Yeah,
already gave me my
unless
silver fork.
Oh, did
Yeah,
I got
so-
the fork?
I believe so, yeah.
Palmar's not got any silver on him.
No.
I would give
Greed
the
only deals in
fork
gold.
over to Sigma then.
Okay. You can do the trade system if you want to.
I don't have it in my inventory.
I mentioned
you did pick it up.
last week, but I
Yeah.
don't think it
Yeah.
towards the end of the session.
yeah. Okay.
Silvers for peasants pretending to be the rich.
I think it's literally just a silver.
How much silver do you need?
I'm sure the raw material is actually going to be more valuable to us than like a monetary amount.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any raw material. The only silver I have on me are 56 silver pieces.
That is also fine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. How
That's-
much silver is required will be partially determined by the rolls. If you want to give that 56 silver over and have it be potentially used, then you can.
Mhm.
I'll use all the raw material before I go to the money itself.
Okay, so right,
Okay,
let me get my notes up on this particular property. That one. Just need to like. What if I got that one open? No, not that one. Right. A moaning sob floats through the steel grey streets, colouring your thoughts with sadness. The sound flows from a dark two-story townhouse as you approach. It appears that most of the windows and doors are boarded up. And actually, I'm going to say that's boarded up. Actually, thinking about
Hey
it.
everyone, long time no see. It's Nolly.
What would you like
and
to
in
do?
this guide, I'm going to teach you how to get the portal to Old Dalaran.
Approach the door and knock.
Yeah, let's knock.
There is no response to the knocking. Just continuous weeping.
Miss Mary, may we come in? Mark requested us to check up
Today
on
I'll
you.
show you how you get to Dalaran City.
Told
You
us you
need to
might
be
be
the
in need of some assistance.
Still nothing.
Can I open the door?
I will cast Shillelagh on my stick before.
Yeah. As you try to open the door, the door itself starts to open, but it seems to have been like boarded up from the inside to prevent it being easily opened.
Let's see if there's any windows that have gone up. Do we see any windows as we
I
walk
do
around?
see another door.
Not really. And all of the windows that you can see are a bit further up, and they're also
74
boarded up.
in order to pick up a pre-quest that you need
The
to
door
do
is
in
not
a
locked,
low
but it's
Dalaran city.
blocked.
Once again,
Yes, essentially, yeah. So with force, you could probably open it.
How
Exact same.
far does the door open?
This is marked
Maybe
right here on
like
the
an
map
inch or two.
and early in this video.
Well-shaped.
Now you can click the gem and teleport right back to Dalaran City. Once you're back in Dalaran City, then I usually change my hearthstone to this location. Or in order to pick up Patient would also like to see other Wrath of the Lich King guides. Or
Yeah.
We have announced ourselves.
Yeah.
And I will call out that I will open the door unless she tells us not to.
There is no response, so roll me an athletics check if you want to try to open the door. And I think you've got a crowbar, right?
Oh, that's right.
So you can roll again for you would have had advantage. Okay,
19.
That is more than enough to open it. Welcome to the house.
Welcome to the
That literally went through my head as soon as it was said.
I will
Miss
enter
Mary.
calling out for Mary. Can we hear where the crying's coming from?
Upstairs.
Okay, upstairs we go.
What?
Hmm?
Kitchen. Oh, I was just saying, just the kitchen.
Yeah, it's not like the Durst house.
Oh, there's a door over here as well. Yeah.
Miss Mary?
Hello, Miss Mary.
Knock, knock.
Just sobbing. That's all you hear.
I'm calling.
Knock, knock. Oh. Miss Mary?
Let's see if they've got Okay.
Are we able to get vision on it? For the
Oh, we don't have vision?
Madman.
Well, we're not on the map, are we?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open the stream.
Oh, that'd do, yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Make the DM's life easier, please. We're already stretching him.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Second time we split the
I
party
mean,
in the
I
same
can also
session.
do. That didn't work.
No, it's fine. It's
I don't
fine.
know.
I got the stream open.
Okay.
Hello, Mary.
Yeah, so you can see Mary. She is on the floor, sobbing, clutching a malformed doll.
Sort of squeezing in and standing over here. I'll call a bit louder.
She doesn't respond. She is weeping, clutching this doll, which you can probably, now that you're a bit closer, actually probably get a bit more information about this. So the malformed doll has a strange leer and wears a sackcloth dress. World is no fun, is no Blinsky.
No fun, no Very good. Yeah, I will approach her and sort of put my hand on her shoulder.
She looks up at you a little, like still sobbing, clutching the doll close. Just sort of stares at you.
The priest asked us to check on you. Are you okay? What's the matter?
Priest?
Was it the Mark?
The priest?
I don't know. We were with the father.
The priest. Father Donovich. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's his name.
What?
He asked us to check on you. No one's seen you for a while.
Nobody wants to see me. Nobody comes to visit.
We have.
It is hard to visit if you won't open the door.
The door needed to be kept shut. Needed to be kept shut to keep her safe. Keep us both safe, but especially her.
Keep you safe?
My daughter. My beautiful, beloved daughter, Gertrude. But...
Is she here? Is she in this room?
she's not here now. Even she doesn't want to visit. She doesn't want to stay. She broke out, and she points over to this window over here where there's broken glass down by the base. She broke out and over a week ago, and she hasn't been seen since. Went looking for her, but can't find her. So...
what does she look like?
She points to, I'm going to say over here, where there's what looks like a portrait. And we'll show you this.
Okay.
Oh. She looks lovely.
She is. She's the sweetest little thing. So innocent. But she doesn't understand the dangers. She doesn't understand anything.
Do you mean Strahd?
Yes. Yes. He is one of them. He charms all the young girls away.
Is he looking for her?
Yes.
Or just...
yes, he must be. Why would he not be? She's so beautiful. So innocent. The perfect thing.
If we find her, we'll bring her back to you.
Really? You promise?
If we find her, we will keep her safe.
Yes.
Thank you.
I will kneel down to sort of her height. Take her hands. And I'd say I promise. I will try and we will bring her back.
She hugs into you. Thank you, kind sirs. Everyone always said that those who weren't human were monsters, but I think you're less of a monster than anyone I've met. Nobody dared to come check on me, except you. And if they did, they were always shouting, always angry.
I'll pull out my star chart, open it to show her the photo and go, I know what it's like to miss children.
I could tell.
Close it and put it back in his pocket.
I could tell. And he goes, well,
you need to.
If you're going to
lock
look
yourself
for her,
away.
I will do. I'll keep myself safe for her, because you're going to bring her back to me.
But you also need to make sure that you get checked on by the make sure the Father Donovan knows you're okay.
I will do. I will do. Yes. Yes. And then...
And if people come visit, you don't need to open the door, but at least let people know.
Yeah.
You're inside. You're okay.
She thinks for a moment and then hands Octavian the malformed doll. It's like, if you take this and show it to her, she'll know that it came from home, and that might help. Maybe. It might scare her away, but it might be it's all I can do to help. It's all I can do to help.
I understand. I'll make sure she gets it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll give her a sort of gentle hug and then stand up. We need to get ready to leave.
Yeah. It's really annoying. All the people I want to give inspiration to already have inspiration.
Yeah.
There's been some good moments. It's just like, that seems like it. And then it's like, God damn it.
I keep forgetting to have inspiration.
You could give it to that person and then have that person give it to someone else.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, the only person who doesn't have it is Greed at the moment, I think.
They don't need inspiration.
I deserve it.
Would you like that? And technically, I also have this earlier. Palmar, would you like to give your inspiration to? There's extra inspiration to Greed.
Oh, now I'm torn.
Thank you, Palmar.
Woody as the player is like, no, hell no, make Hamza. But Palmar would do it. So I'm going to leave it for the DM to decide whether Greed deserves inspiration.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reward them the inspiration I would have given Palmar, because Greed was so inspired by Palmar actually. Well, what happened in the basement, basically, because it was just done so well. I honestly think like Sigma also deserved it at points as well, and it's just like, God damn it! I only have so many things I can give as rewards, like for just good roleplay.
I will offer the inspiration to the DM in hopes that he's more lenient with us.
Okay.
If only.
It gives you disadvantage on a roll against us.
Or maybe I'll use that inspiration on the NPCs, essentially. So I've got an NPC ally inspiration roll.
Okay, that actually is a bad idea.
That works, yeah.
Yeah.
And Cam's did it, so that works even better for me.
So Octavian, on your sheet,
yep.
Mark that. I'm gonna say.
You could call it hope, because we're inspiring hope in Barovia.
Yeah, just be like hope inspiration dice 1 on your sheet somewhere. Just so that is.
No, I do have inspiration.
Yeah, I've just given it to you from Palmar.
I've just added the Blinsky doll as well.
Yeah, because nobody. For this moment, I would technically give it to either Misha or Octavian or Mary, I guess. Because technically you've kindled hope in Mary, so... And I suppose you guys kindled hope in Donovich and Doru, so...
It could be the... I mean, the people are... The land is always the people.
Yeah.
Oh, I am the temporary effects.
Oh. And the staff will say, do I get honor for this?
Sure.
No, thank you.
Right. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up things for you two. So I'm going to move over to the other party members in the blacksmiths, which I have lost again. So I keep losing this building. It's not... So yeah. Welcome to what looks to be a blacksmith. This looks like a forge sort of thing in the middle, and there's broken weapons. So I'm going to assume it's a blacksmith.
Okay.
Okay, I hear the music for a blacksmith.
So is this the forge right here?
Yeah, like here is everything.
Oh, you put us there. Okay, yeah. Doing a quick once over the place just so that we don't get. Oh gosh, what's going on?
Yeah.
I am my token is doing weird. It's teleporting me across the map.
I see. Yep.
Is there another Sigma on the map somewhere?
Down in the south.
There's one. There was one.
And it deleted both of them.
Oh, that's where Octavian and Sigma, well, Octavian at least ended up, because I pasted them onto the map and then
I was down
lost
in the
them.
corner of the village of Brovia.
So
but yeah,
Sigma gone on the map somewhere, and I'm not sure where.
I put myself back in the location of the fort. I'll just do a quick once over the place to make sure we don't get.
The place is safe. You managed to get in easily enough. It's yeah.
This door is locked. Is that like a door to the outside?
No, doesn't look like it.
Can I lockpick it?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that.
We're so going to get ourselves into trouble.
We'll be fine.
Yep, you're able to easily open it. Wait, how did Misha get here?
Yes.
Is there anything in this room?
Nope,
Any
it's
reason
just
to
a
lock
dining
that door?
room.
Okay. Well, I will scavenge for any materials that might be useful to us, and then
the wood would be good.
Yeah, and begin working. If you want investigation for looking around, that's fine. But I would just start melting down the silver.
There isn't really anything here. Everything would have been scavenged. So okay, so this is going to be a skill challenge. Essentially, 3 successes before 3 failures. The DC will be dependent on what exactly you're doing, but at this point, I just need a blacksmith's tool check. But if Palmar or Greed wants to assist in some way, they can.
I was going to say, could Palmar assist with pulling out his plethora of tools and his notepad? Where you'll see, Sigma, first time you would have seen this, well, you've seen the notepad, but the first time you would have been close enough to see inside, and there is just pages and pages of drawings, of designs, of work and experiments on equipment that Palmar has attempted to build over time. When it first opens, it opens up to an image of a suit of armor, but he quickly hides that. But it would have been, you would have seen it because you see everything.
Sigma's eyes would go wide, and he would go, he would look at you, and go, "That's amazing! I've never seen anyone smith like that."
So that would be how I would look to help with my experience.
Okay, so you can give me a smith's tool check, but if it asks you for the stat, you can use intelligence.
Intelligence would not be good for me. Dexterity is better.
No, but this is for Palmar.
Ah, okay.
For their assistance. Because
Okay.
it's more of a knowledge of the... should hopefully ask you when you click it, hopefully.
Does say intelligent, which isn't great. Cool.
It's good enough. Okay, so Sigma, you can roll this Smith's tool check with advantage.
16.
Okay,
Solid.
there's a 16. That is a success. So with that, you're able to begin melting down the necessary silver, or at least be able to melt down some silver. Okay, so
I could just tell you all of the silver I have, and let you decide how many weapons that might attempt.
Okay.
I have 2 silver trays, so like silver platters. I have a silver box. Like the music box. That was like the
there was a brush.
There was the brush, but it only had silver bristles, which isn't very much silver. So I probably wouldn't fiddle with that one, because it may not be enough. There's also the 50 silver pieces, which is at how many pounds of silver is that?
I think it's basically 50 pounds silver or something, because I'm not fully sure on how much silver weighs in this case, but I'll probably just go.
So it's about 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds of silver in the silver pieces.
There's also the silver fork from.
Yeah, it's a silver fork.
Octavian.
The other silver cutlery from the death house and stuff that everyone was picking up back then.
I have used 25 pieces of cutlery for the holy water, so that is that is about almost all the cutlery.
But yeah.
Okay, so
it's 4 pounds of silver with the trays.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it's gonna be sort of dependent. What weapons are you trying to coat first of all? Like,
I would start with my my butcher's blades, but I will also to Palmar agreed offer the silver sword, like the entire silver sword that is already like ready to go if one of them wants it as a weapon, because we'll need it.
Palmar would you'd see him pick it up, and for as much as he knows what he's doing with smithing, etc., he does not know how to wield this sword.
He almost goes to pick it up by the blade.
Okay, I will wait to give that to. The problem is that everyone who uses a weapon is not one that. Could I silver Palmar's gauntlets as well?
I use my fist currently.
Yeah. Please, you're technically proficient in short swords. Would you like a short sword in case someone comes up close?
Sorry, say that.
Would you like a silver short sword in case someone comes up close? Because you can technically, you're proficient in one.
It's silver. No. It's pretty.
Silver. Sure, I'll hold on to it. Palmar, could you put it with my other things?
If you're not going to use it, Sigma's not going to give it to you.
I feel like you haven't you probably haven't explained the importance of it to Greed enough.
Another point. Of all the people, Sigma, would you be willing to give it to Greed?
That's true. Sigma will start explaining, like out loud, like the importance of having silvered weapons, how they're like the werewolves and things about, and many other beasts that are only hurt by silver. That like some of the things we saw in the basement weren't affected because we didn't have silver.
I guess.
Silver wasn't the issue.
He's just talking out loud. He's babbling about weaponry.
Very well then. I'll keep hold of it as you care so much for my well-being.
I don't want to hurt Greed.
Of course. I appreciate that.
I'm just going to quickly drag that onto Greed's sheet for them.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to use that one because it's not my big chunky knives, my big chunky blades, so...
Okay, so you've now got a silver short sword on top of everything else. You probably will never use it, but it's there in case you need it. Okay, so I'm gonna say, for now, what we'll do with the 16 and the amount that you've got.
I also have Misha's flail that he handed to me to work on.
Yeah, it's gonna be between 3 to 4 weapons. Depending on the size of the weapons and also depending on your rolls for the next bits. Okay. So the next step is essentially preparing the weapon to be coated. Now, this not necessarily is fully, I would say, a smithing check. This could, and I'm actually going to say it isn't. This is more of like an alchemy check.
I don't have alchemy. That's a different thing.
Maybe you have a artificer friend that has
you could
You
try.
don't need the actual tool, but you just need knowledge of it or you can just try to roll just a straight like intelligence sort of check. But essentially you're treating the weapon in a way so it feels like alchemy would fit. You could also maybe get away with Tinker's tools, I guess.
I mean, I would assist and I'd flick open to a page where not necessarily silver, but where Palmar has practiced trying to add another metal to another metal. So he has tinkered with much to Greed's hatred, applying gold to armor as a sort of a finishing, so has practiced and attempted to do this. Could I guide and help enough to give him sort of advantage?
It might be better to go the other way. Have me help you because I'm working with swords and things, and smith's tools is my proficiency. But you might actually have proficiency in this, which I don't.
Maybe.
I was just. I didn't expect an
in this case,
to come up.
it would probably be Sigma guiding Palmar. Yeah, this is how it should go.
Yeah.
And then, with their actual expertise, they might fill in the blanks.
Yeah. So Sigma, I'm going to have you roll me another Smith's tool check, and then depending on the roll, we'll see if Palmar gets advantage on doing the treating of the weapons. Yes, he does. And the DC is now lowered as well. So Palmar, give me a Tinker's tool check, and you can use dexterity or intelligence for this. And you have advantage.
Nice.
Okay, that almost landed on a nat 20, but a 15 is more than enough to successfully do this, and it actually beats the DC that was set by 5 or more. So with that, all I need is an advantage roll from one of you to finish this off without failing. And this can be a Smith's tool check.
I think I would probably have a better chance there.
Yeah, definitely.
Over to you.
Okay.
Nice.
With that, you are able to coat both. And this, I'm going to say this is taking a long time. This is probably taking most of the day because it's not a quick process to melt down the silver, treat the weapons, and then coat them. And then you've obviously got to allow the cooling process, etc. So it's probably, you did everything this morning, breakfast, etc. It's probably going to be essentially you're able to coat both of your butcher blades, the flail.
You can always throw a few fragments in if you are looking for extra stuff.
I'm just thinking, is there anything else?
I mean, I can always coat. Would coating a quarterstaff make it not wood?
I'm considering that.
Palmar's greaves are an option too, so that he can make silvered fist checks.
I mean, Palmar, you're like a straight up boxer, right? So it's mostly just punches. You're not doing like elbows and stuff, right?
Yeah, no, he's bare knuckle fighter.
Yeah. So,
just to throw an absolute spanner in the works for what is a brilliant idea, and I'm grateful for it. But yeah, from a character side of things,
you could always just have me coat my pythons because those are probably easier since they're meant to be
so
thrown
I'll
and
say
discarded.
you can coat 5 pythons or 5 crossbow bolts.
I'll do 5 pythons.
Yeah, so just split them out somehow so you can identify between them. I'm sure you know what you're doing.
No, yeah, I can do that.
Yep.
I'll just specify when I use a silver loan.
And Misha, I'll just update your...
I just updated it myself.
Okay, so, yep, silver.
It's just the tick for silvered, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to update the name as well, just so that quick reference. There you go. I mean, yeah. I suppose if you also wanted to silver something else, I think you also had the dagger you could have melted down, right? But then again, that's obviously a symbolized dagger, so...
My dagger is already silvered.
No, but I meant if you wanted to melt it, if you had wanted to get some extra silver to do something, but yeah.
I mean, I know this dagger is already properly maintained.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have this one as a last resort backup in case of emergency.
That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, and it's easy to conceal a small dagger if we're going places.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say you'll probably all go back to the Burgomaster's house because that's probably where you would go next to regroup. So I'll just put you back on that map. So ignore the coffin because the coffin isn't actually there anymore, but it's not a removable thing.
Yes, it is. Set it up, so it is.
And I just hit the silvered weapon property.
Yep.
Yeah. How'd you do that then? Is it a tile?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. There is no coffin.
There it is.
Voodoo and magic.
And Misha is no longer invisible. So.
As I walk in, I hand Misha his flail, all silvered.
Oh, wow, nice done.
How much to thank for that? He's quite a skilled inventor.
As I've said time and time again, a man of many talents.
Aren't you, Palmar? Sigma like pulls Palmar into like a side hug, like awkwardly.
Just two people socially awkward hugging each other. Love it.
I'm imagining it's like the awkward hug with like the pat on the back, just like pat pat. But
before meeting up, what's her name? We had a name, right? The Dream Bases seller,
Morgantha. Yeah, you wanted to look for Morgantha.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a quick perception check. Okay, perception. Unfortunately, you're unable to find her. But Octavian is able to help if they want and roll a perception check of their own.
Yep.
And technically, you also have inspiration if you want to spend it, Misha, to re-roll. Okay, Octavian found them. Okay, so this is gonna be.
I want to give in to my weakness, but I'm not sure if I want to give in that much.
Okay, this is actually going to be interesting. Okay, so Morgantha and the thing. Right, so as you are walking about looking for them, you see her knock on a door. This is as you're approaching, and ask for payment. Octavian, you would hear this.
Yep.
And in exchange, they are given a 7-year-old boy.
Point this out.
He's kidnapping a child.
No, wait, it's not kidnapping.
I mean, it could be the they work in the mill or wherever they make the food.
Is that what Octavian would think?
It is.
It
was payment for the pastries, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that seemed to be the idea.
Can I go over and ask how much they were owed?
Yeah,
of Morgantha or of the
I'll ask Morgantha.
Oh, it's you again. Owed? Oh, what do you mean owed? Are you paid for your pastries fair and square? I'm pretty sure.
I did, but apparently these people paid with their child.
Yes. Yes.
How much would they have?
That is what they owed. That is what they promised, and that is what they owed.
Because they couldn't pay the price, right?
They were willing to do anything, and this is what they offered.
And what will you do with the child?
I would take them back to the mill.
And they will work?
There's plenty of uses for a young lad like this in a mill.
I would assume you'll put them to work and they would help pay off the...
Of course. They'll be very helpful for keeping the business running.
Can I insight check at this point? He's being very...
And how much distress is the child's?
The child is clearly distressed, and oh my god.
Oh,
Really?
she's so bad.
Oh no. Oh no.
We are definitely not going to eat him.
We're not making pies out of children.
One of us has eaten this pie out of children.
Misha, you actually somehow don't see through this. Octavian does.
Octavian, I feel like sees through it immediately.
Yeah, this is gonna suck because I know what I need to do. I don't want to do it.
Misha the roll.
She's like,
yeah, the dice hate me.
No, they are not making pies out of children.
Also, I don't have
Is it
my
just
weapon.
I'll say, it's just us two, isn't it?
It's just us two, yep.
I mean...
I'm going to actually find somewhere on the map for this to be...
If it's right outside the blacksmith shop, that'd be really funny, because then...
Damn it, James.
Why are you damning me? I didn't do anything.
Your dice roll, you're meant to win that.
Yeah. I thought that too. Yeah, let's do it over here.
Well, they're definitely not children pies, no.
Yeah, basically for you, she couldn't have made it any more obvious. She practically licks her lips looking at the young boy.
Yeah. I'm just too distracted by the pastry effects.
Yep.
If it weren't for that, I might have used inspiration, but nope.
If I do, the problem is how I've played Octavian when he.
Octavian would not let a kid get taken.
Yeah.
No. Really sucks.
Just hand her gold and say. He'd say something like, if you're really looking for something out.
Would you take money for the child? Pay off their debt?
Why would I want money when I can have such a helpful little child? But you can roll me a persuasion check.
Because what help is a scrawny child like that? With money, you can hire someone who's got a better physique to help you in the mill.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I am going to use my inspiration.
Yeah.
How much money would you be offering, Octavian?
I've got like 9 gold coins.
Okay. I will
can I
bring out 2 of the moss agates that are worth 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
Each.
Can I cast guidance to that?
Sure.
I've just put something in the Barovia chat, by the way.
Barovia chat.
11.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. With that, she's at least willing to listen and sort of looks and considers your offer. And it's like 30 gold pieces should do. Or the equivalent.
Okay. I'll hand over the moss agates. All 3 of them.
Gold. And I'll hand over my 9 gold coins as well.
No. You don't need to.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to argue.
Send trade requests.
I will, yes, accept.
Oh yeah, the gems.
Yep, the gems.
I will accept the trade. So you also need to accept, I believe.
I thought I did say accept for some reason.
Not showing as accepting for me.
1 moment.
Now it is. Okay, she goes, thank you for your business.
How long are these pastries good for eating?
A few days at least, but they're best off fresh. piping hot and full of goodness to make you grow big and strong.
At this point, Octavian is firmly aware. Misha has no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Is there only 3 of them left?
Yes, on the
And
thing.
they're 1 gold each, you said?
Yep.
I will buy all 3 of them.
Oh, rich people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll take these. I'll take back my cart. She looks wistfully at the boy. And I guess we'll have to make the pies ourselves. Yes.
Thank you for
And
your
begins to walk away. And you now have 3 more.
When
3
she
more pie.
leaves, I believe I wanted to ask her a question yesterday.
Yeah.
And she was distracted because someone stole her pie.
What was the question?
Yeah, yesterday you were distracted when I asked if you would have noticed any wild or savage wolves nearby.
Nearby. In the woods. Yes, yes, yes. Lots of wolves in the woods. And in the caves. Yes.
In the caves?
Yes, the caves.
Can you tell me the general direction of these caves?
It's been a long while since I traveled that way.
Oh.
That's my sister's territory, but... Seems to think for a moment, pauses, goes... I think it's near one of the smaller lakes. Lake Baratok, I think. You might be able to find out more from people. And then she begins to totter off at some speed.
I thank her for the...
Thank you for your time, miss.
Yep. And she heads off.
Once she's out of earshot, I grab Misha. You know, I literally put my hand around like Misha's head to hold him there. I go, you do not eat those pies. She was going to use that child as ingredients.
What?
Yeah.
That old lady? Sweet old lady? She wouldn't do that.
I just look at Misha and just go, trust me on this. She's not what she seems. You can see Octavian's hands are slightly shaky.
Yep.
Whether out of fear or anger, you don't quite know. But Misha has turned into a pie, apparently.
You should bring that child to Ismark.
Yeah, I will do.
I mean, you could just go into the home, which is here. Like, literally next.
But they're just gonna give her back the kid back to her.
The next day they would.
Oh, they paid off their debts, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll go in and go.
Which means that they've got another debt they can accrue.
I'm just going to go in and go, right, I paid off the debts for your child. I need to borrow them for a few minutes or for a while.
Now you owe me.
They're just like, I mean, in sort of a droll voice, do what you want. I don't care. I've got my pies.
I hate
him. He's a crackhead.
Oh, yep. We take the child. We take the child.
Octavian just shakes his head in absolute.
They're our child now.
Oh my god.
As he walks away, he goes, I really hope someone burns your house down at some point.
As long as I've got my pies, I don't care.
Oh, he slams the door with force. Probably almost try and break it off the hinges. He looks at the kid and goes,
Most parties, when they get a pet, it's a dog.
That's so
I mean,
we've got ourselves a child.
Technically, isn't Octavian the party's pet?
Yeah.
I mean,
the party's pet gets a child.
Yes.
Suppose I should give you the child's name. His name is Lucian.
No, we don't need to know.
Lucian?
Excuse me. What?
His name is Lucian.
I will kneel down to the child and pull out rations and offer him some.
now he's gonna get attached, and he's not gonna leave.
He takes some of the rations, and then go.
Jesus
I prefer some of one of those pies.
I'll look at him and go, you must promise me you never eat those pies again.
But they give such nice dreams.
They are really bad for you.
But they make me happy. They can't be bad. You're bad.
See?
I will
See, Octavian, the child agrees.
At this point, I will put on my parent voice.
That's so fair. I mean, to be fair, you are a parent, so
exactly. I will put on the parent voice and go, they are bad for you. You must not eat them.
You mustn't eat them.
I'm not going to. I look at him and go,
more for me.
I look at him and go, I don't eat them. I don't eat meat.
Well, then that doesn't explain how you're so fat.
Just pick up this child and take him to the cats. The mansion.
I will
Scoop him
sit
up.
on you.
Do you know what? I can't wait until this child meets Greed.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm quite slender for my race, I'll have you know.
Like, come on, Lucian. We're going to the Burgermeister's house. Let's go.
I'm going to use
and
command
I'll
word,
whisper
fuck
in the
off.
air. We can try to sneak off one of the pies when he's asleep.
The child nods.
Oh my god, you're feeding the crack baby.
Oh no, those pies are in my pack. When we get back to the Burgermeisters, I will excuse myself to the privy and drop the pies off.
What took you so long? We were done hours ago.
We rescued pie ingredients, and I'll just hold up the child's hand.
Sigma doesn't really look that surprised. Sigma raises
the child was being offered for child laboring.
What is that?
It is a child greed.
You're not keeping it.
But greed.
I don't want to be with this fat hippo thing anyway.
Sigma walks
he won't let me
up to
have
the
the
child.
pies.
Sigma walks up to the
Do you
child.
even know what a hippo is? All you have here is bats and bears and wolves.
I read books.
You can read?
Wait, you can read?
You can read?
In Barovia? He can talk!
Well, that's something at least.
I'm a real boy!
We haven't got to teach you how to read.
Wouldn't want you to teach me how to read anyway. It'd probably be fat words.
I like this.
Never mind, I like this child.
I'm just going to.
I like this little scamp.
Just under my breath in Druidic, I'm just going to start cursing this shit out.
Is where he's secretly a druid.
I'm going. From now on, I'm going to call him Druid. But yes, I will dispose of the pies in the privy.
At this point, I walk up to Misha and hand him his flail, and then I turn towards the kids, smiling like a creature. Well, hello, and I lean down,
Oh god, that's scary as fuck.
Poor child.
Just sort of stares and goes, "Still better looking than that one." Points to Octavian. He really does like Octavian.
I don't like him.
You bought him.
Technically, no.
Misha did.
I bought the child's.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Octavian stole him.
Does Octavian tell Sigma what's going on before he walks away?
I will sort of give him a look back in a minute.
Okay. Sigma holds out a hand and shakes this kid's hand a little bit too aggressively. Well, it's good to meet you, young sir.
Good to meet you too. I think. I'm not sure what you are.
Neither am I.
You just hear a call from upstairs. None of us do.
Oh, upstairs.
That one.
Oh.
That one is more likely to eat you.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Hmm? They seem confused.
Pointing to the walking teeth.
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to say, hold on.
And then just goes, "You're really ugly."
Are you talking about the hippo again?
Not all of you. I mean, that one's
Uh.
okay. Points to Ismark and Irina. The rest of you are really weird looking.
Oh, that makes more sense now.
Oh,
Yeah, you're all non-humanoids.
Yeah.
Racist. I see.
He's a racist.
Yeah, I know.
I just lean over the balcony and go, if anything, you're the weird looking one. You're small and weak and squishy.
Ironically, we were worried that the fight was going to be last week between Sigma and Greed. This week it's whether Octavian kills a child.
Yep.
Sigma tries to do the like the thumb trick where you pull off your thumb, but like literally his thumb.
Oh yeah, your thumb is gonna
He stares and shrieks and runs and hides behind Ismark. Actually, no, he's going to run and hide behind Misha, actually, because he knows Misha. Misha wanted to get pies with him.
Yep.
I'm just going to look at the kid from up here. Are you sure I'm the worst one?
You're certainly the fattest.
Hey.
When the party gets a little creature that gives the DM an opportunity to get his own back.
Oh, if
That's why he stole all the pies.
So if that's the case, you should behave yourself, or I will come down there and I will sit on.
Oh yeah, he really does that.
Oh yeah, he will do that.
That's a nat 20 on intimidation.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's eating all the pies.
That one.
Fucking bastards.
He now respects Octavian.
Yeah. He's just like he just sort of whimpers and mumbles something under his breath, but just doesn't say anything more. Misha, you just about hear him, and it's just like, but I'm surprised the stairs can take your weight to come back down.
Oh yeah, those are definitely very sturdy stairs.
Lucian is being babysat tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I really want to ask a child, or tell the child we're going to. Oh, what's the other town called again? Malarkey. And we are, or I am concerned about the child because their parents will definitely sell them off for pie again.
Yeah.
And then the
Probably.
old lady will take you again.
I'd sell my kids for pie.
I'm gonna.
Well, you don't have kids.
They had kids.
So, Octavian, what's with?
I'll just sort of explain Sigma. The old woman with the pie thing.
Morganta.
Yeah, I didn't care about her name. She was taking the child as payment and as the meat for the pies.
You see Sigma like at this like connection. You see Sigma go, "Oh, that's what that smell is." Like it's all been like come together. Like, oh, it was people.
Misha is still in denial. This is not happening.
Misha ate one of those pies.
Misha, you ate people.
Children burst out laughing behind.
No, it's a pie.
No, it was
made
people.
out of children.
Sigma walks up and slaps Misha's shoulder and says, "We all get tricked by old mysterious women in the streets every once in a while."
Yeah, I will say that I'm sort of saying this loud enough to, and sort of looking at the
Bismarck?
So, yes, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names, you know this, James.
I know.
Sort of explaining to him as well what's gone on, what we found. The only reason she left was because I've got a feeling that I wouldn't have been able to deal with her. She's not normal. I'd be surprised if she's human. Make matters worse, she has sisters.
If I think over monsters that eat children in particular, would I have any idea what it might be?
I mean, which monsters do not eat children?
You can roll me an intelligence check, but there are a few.
There are zombies.
Like
there are werewolves. There are
in
harpies.
particular, specifically children.
A snug, apparently.
I want to say Ettercap. They also eat children, or at least some of them do.
So does Tiefling, and I'll point at Misha.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Which check?
You can roll me, I would say.
Hey! Stop here! Get back!
Snow took the pie child. Scared to ask what a snow.
But yeah, I could roll an investigation if you feel like that would be correct. Like running through like my memory.
Or it has to be something intelligence based, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I'll roll through investigation. Imagine like I'm rolling through like the memories that I have in my head.
Through like books that you've read before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll roll. I'll use my inspiration just so I use it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
my guidance this.
Technically, you could.
Yeah, technically.
Who are you guiding?
Oh, sorry, that would be it would have been Sigma.
Right, so Misha, from your memories, you remember being told a story when you were young about a wolf that once dressed up in a grandma's clothing to eat a child.
Yeah.
Sigma, you obviously know that story and a few others like it where but the one that comes to mind is of a cottage in the woods made of savory treats like pie material and pastry.
Yes,
where children were once cooked in an oven.
Yes,
but that witch already has been burned.
True.
Sigma will say it's a bit of a Handel and Greta situation.
What, you mean a Garrett and Hannah situation?
Oh, of course.
But yes. So, and you would know that that was supposed to be a witch who enchanted the cottage and basically ate children.
Could be a witch of some sort.
Speaking of, there was a mark on the pie.
Yeah, the witch's the crow's
chicken foot. Crow's foot.
It was
chicken foot. It was a
bird's feet.
Yeah, it was definitely a bird foot pattern.
Oh, it's not a single, it's a
it was like a pattern around like the outside, almost like the crimping on like the edge of the pastry.
Can I do is it investigation or insight? No, not insight. Some sort of check to see if I can recognize the pattern. Last night didn't work because I was too exhausted.
It's gonna be an Arcana check, but it's gonna be a very high DC, like very high.
Ismark, it may be worth your time to start keeping your people from eating the pies.
Yeah, that's not enough, unfortunately. It's not a symbol you recognize even with that.
Damn it, I tried.
Can I...
If they are made of children, it only makes the situation
I will
worse.
certainly let people know and try to stop that happening. Certainly. So the symbol was kind of like that on all around the pie.
Wait, I recognize that. That's a that's the letter TH, I believe.
Possibly.
That's actually from the same alphabet Sigma's letters from.
No, it's not. This one is more Nordic. Okay, it's not TH. It is...
It's very similar to the Z.
It's the Z, yeah.
It could just be a fork because she sells food. But I'm just thinking outside of the box.
But that's besides the point. So we should go deal with her and her sisters at some point. You know as well as I do, Misha, monsters come in all forms, including people.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little child says and just looks at Octavian.
Swear to God, I will sit on you, child.
Sigma will look at Ismark and say, "Could you protect the boy here?"
We can protect the boy.
I suppose so, at least till I'm ready to leave to head after you to Valarki.
Misha, we are not bringing it along.
I just look at Misha and go, no, we can't.
Lucian, do you want to come with us, or do you want to stay with Bismarck?
Fucking
He's racist. We already know he's racist.
Yeah.
Which way is more likely to get me pie?
Staying here.
You can go back with
traveling with us. Actually, is more likely to get you pie.
We're gonna make sure they stop making pie.
Ismark will not give you pie. Your parents will not give you pie.
Ismark goes, I can give you wine. Children like wine, right?
I like wine.
Really?
Yeah, sure.
I'm just going to look at Ismark and go, speaking of wine, you have some. I need it.
He, I don't know, walks over to this table and pulls out a flagon and hands it to you.
Thank you. And it's just gone.
It's cheap, nasty stuff, practically vinegar, but it's still alcoholic.
I've drank shit brewed rum before. This is fine.
Yeah, but I mean, there's food here. I can try to bake a pie. Boy goes, well, that's possible pie is better than no pie. I guess I'll stay here.
Oh, that was easy.
We leave at first light, Miss Irina?
Yes, I would have preferred to leave sooner, but it's very dangerous to travel at night.
If we're gonna spend tonight...
We could leave now and rest on the road, but is that more dangerous?
Unlikely, yes.
It's much more dangerous, at least in a residence. It's a defensible point, and yes, much more much safer in here. At least till we get within other walls. The only safe place from here would potentially be if we could reach the Vistani encampment that you have the card for. That might be safe.
Yes.
Would we be able to
you
reach them before
say the
nightfall?
Vistani can be on the other side?
They can be, but as long as we don't act too suspicious, it shouldn't matter.
I got friends. Oh, dear. I mean, I think it would be best to stay here for the night. Leave at dawn.
How long's it been again, sorry?
The silvering took a long time. That took like most of the day, because it's not a quick process.
Gotcha.
I'm just.
So for those paying attention, we'll see that Palmar has got bored of the child and is now sat at the table. He's got his notepad out and he's scrawling.
Mm-hmm.
And without asking permission or anything, there is this battered broom now laying down on top of the desk.
Of course there is.
Well, we're all prepared and ready. At least I am. Everyone else should rest. Or at least try to get some form of rest. We leave as early as possible.
I agree.
At dawn, we plan.
No. At dawn, we write.
At dawn, we leave. You can't stay any longer.
Oh, God, no. I love
I'll
that.
make sure there's food for everyone. At least so that you can take something on the road.
Yes. Okay.
That would be wonderful.
And anything else?
Can we, or can some stay at the church? Make sure Father Donovich gets some rest.
I believe he's quite agreeable to our situation. I don't think we need to survey him. Besides, I believe
I fear that he is exhausting himself by praying and keeping watch over his son.
we dealt with that problem. He listened to me when I talked to him.
Well, we didn't actually explain what happened down there, do we?
I mean, yeah, we could explain. I mean...
Yeah, I feel like we should catch Misha and Octavian up with what happened down.
Yeah.
Just so it would give peace of mind, and we'll explain that Palmar disguised himself as the father and
got through to Doru.
Yeah.
And also got through. We also got through to his father. So both of them, we got through to them.
Yeah, it's fair enough. As long as they're not going to massacre anyone.
Well, we hope not, anyway.
We also did put enough stuff, we did put enough wood on top, so it'd be very difficult. That old man doesn't look like he could lift much.
He trusts us. And he trusted our judgment.
DM?
Yes.
Because I love putting DMs on the spot just before the end of a session.
Oh.
I'm assuming that we're winding up to hit the hay, etc.
Yep.
Oh no.
Could I try to infuse the broomstick with the last of my magical essence that I have for the day? I understand that sort of sleep helps me recharge, etc.
Oh, so essentially use what's left of your spell slots to try to...
So I should prefix this. I don't want it to fly or turn it into a magical. I kind of want to make it talk to me.
Okay, that's actually something you can do as part of your being an artificer. You could do that.
So it's more of a sounding board to ideas.
Oh, so like something that can talk back. Okay.
Completely useless apart from A, winding Cam up.
Yep.
And B, just because it's really funny.
It's Greed's voice, isn't it? Like it's Greed's voice giving you like encouraging like statements.
Okay,
like...
you can give me an Arcana check.
Happy for, by the way, that if this fails, it's all good. Like,
yeah, I am going to say that spends your spell slot for the day.
That's fine. Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Come on, roll good. Come on. That was so close.
Unfortunately not. The best you can get it to do is using your magical tinkering. When you tap it, it just goes in Greed's voice. I don't know, Palmar. What do you think?
Oh.
That'll do.
And
I'll roll these for now, just so that we know.
Yeah.
In case that probably won't come up, but
and with that, we are going to end tonight's session, but we are not going to roll for a long rest yet.
Okay.
Yay.
Right,
I don't literally need to rest for a bit, so I can.
So we're gonna wrap up there. I hope everyone enjoyed the session. I hope everyone liked the Barovian child. Everyone liked everything else, and we shall hopefully see you all again next week, unless something comes up.
Yeah.
So, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.